Good afternoon. So today we will start a new chapter, that is plant physiology. Let me make it very clear that plant physiology is difficult to understand, but it's very interesting. Okay, so now what is physiology? Physiology is a branch of biology is a branch of biology which deals with study of metabolic processes. Which deals with study of metabolic processes. I have told you in very first chapter that metabolism is defining property of living organisms. Okay, so metabolism is defining property of living organisms. Metabolism is defining property of living organisms. Okay, and metabolic reactions are also called living reactions because they are characteristic feature of only living organisms. Are the chemical reactions which occur in vivo. मैंने आपको इन वेरी फर्स्ट लेक्चर बताया था, इन विवो दैट इज इनसाइड द सेल, दैट इज विद इन द सेल. Okay, so metabolism is the defining property of all living organisms, and physiology deals with metabolic reactions. Now these metabolic reactions are controlled by enzymes. These are controlled by the enzymes. So all metabolic reactions, each and every metabolic reaction is controlled by a specific enzyme. The metabolic reactions are of two types. Not only enzymes, but I will say water, temperature, etc. Metabolic reactions or metabolism is of two types. Anabolism and anabolism are constructive chemical reactions such as photosynthesis, protein synthesis, in which from simple substances complex compounds are synthesized. For example, photosynthesis. Okay. Well, catabolism, for example, respiration, are destructive chemical reactions, that is complex substances are degraded into simple ones. And both, it is not that only constructive reactions are required for essential or support our body, but equally important are catabolism. So both anabolism and catabolism together sustain our body. Okay, so our body is supported by both anabolic as well as catabolic reactions. Now see, in this chapter, what are the processes we will study in relation to plants, of course. First is transportation in plants. So transport in plants, second mineral nutrition, third photosynthesis in higher plants, respiration in plants, and fifth growth and development. So these are the 5 chapters we have to cover in plant physiology. So see, I will explain the concept of translocation. See, this is the plant body. See, in plants the roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. So the function of root is absorption of water and minerals. Okay, these water and minerals which are absorbed by the root are to be transported up, okay, so that water will enter the leaves for photosynthesis, and so also minerals. So like water, minerals are equally important for healthy growth of plant. A variety of minerals are required by the plant for healthy growth. Okay, so water is absorbed from the soil by the root, and this water is to be conducted upwards. So if this is soil water, how is it absorbed मैं बाद में बताने वाली हूँ. So this water which is absorbed is conducted up, ये जो blue line चल रही है, and this water enters the leaves. So water is conducted by root from the lower end, and it is then transported to every leaf, along with the water also minerals. Okay, then what happens? Leaves carry out photosynthesis by using CO2 plus water and of course sunlight. So by using water and carbon dioxide in presence of sunlight, okay, and of course green pigment chlorophyll, the leaves synthesize food. So this is the food which is produced, and this food which is produced is to be translocated and should be supplied to all parts. So translocation of food occurs from the leaf to various parts. Look at this diagram. Food is translocated from the leaf, okay, not only in downward direction but in all. We will discuss it later on. And this is from leaf. Then water is transported from the root to the leaf. Water is transported from the root to the leaf. So देखो कितने अलग अलग ये है. Now we have studied in anatomy that food is conducted through phloem, and water is conducted through xylem, and water is conducted through xylem. So this process of distribution of water, minerals and food throughout the plant body is called translocation. So trans यानी change of location. देखो लोकेशन किसका चेंज हो गया? वाटर का फ्रॉम सॉइल टू द टॉप, एंड फूड का कहाँ से? फ्रॉम टॉप टू द बॉटम. हैव यू गॉट इट? सो दिस ट्रांसपोर्ट of water, minerals, and food throughout the plant body that is from top to the bottom. When I say from top to the bottom, that is from leaf to the root. That is from top to the bottom, leaf to the root, and from bottom to the top. That is root to the leaves. Is called translocation. ट्रांसलोकेशन, देयर इज चेंज ऑफ लोकेशन. ट्रांस का मतलब होता है चेंज, हम बोलते हैं ट्रांसफर, देयर इज चेंज, दैट इज कॉल्ड ट्रांसलोकेशन. Now see, this entire process of translocation, okay, is controlled by three physical processes. These are the under control of, these are under the control of three physical processes. What are they? These are diffusion, osmosis, and imbibition. So before we study translocation of water or minerals, we must understand the concepts of diffusion, osmosis, and imbibition. Is it made clear? And before this, before I switch over to diffusion, I will let you know the importance of water. Why is water, okay, so useful to plant? What are the properties of water which make water indispensable for survival? So now we will discuss properties of water. Okay. So shall I? Huh?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So properties of water. See, water is present. So water is present in three forms. These are gaseous, liquid, and solid. See, water is given out in form of gaseous form, transpiration. It is also given out in form of liquid form, that is guttation. Have you got it? And solid, that is ice. Minus 0 degrees Celsius or minus 5 degrees Celsius is required in the process of vernalization. Okay, second, water has high boiling point. So the boiling point of water is very high, and therefore it remains in liquid form at a very high temperature. Have you got it? And plants use water, or every organism uses water to perform various metabolic processes. So to have a high boiling point, okay, बहुत important है क्योंकि it can remain in liquid form, it does not get vaporized soon because of the high boiling point. Okay, it has, water has high specific heat. It has high specific heat, and this helps in regulating body temperature. So because of high specific heat, water helps to regulate body temperature. Then it has high surface tension. So because of high surface tension, it can be conducted, it can be pulled up, it has high surface tension, and this helps in pulling of water. Okay, also water has high cohesive force. Water has high cohesive force. Okay, this helps in formation of continuous column of water. So continuous column of water of काय झालं? Continuous column of water is formed. This helps in formation of continuous column of water. And जो water molecules they unite with each other, it's very difficult to break the continuity of water. आप कभी पानी को काट नहीं सकते. क्यों नहीं काट कर सकते? Because of their very high cohesive force. Have you got it? Then because water is transparent, कौन सा पॉइंट मालूम नहीं. वाटर इज फिफ्थ. So water is transparent, therefore sun rays can penetrate water. Okay, sun rays can penetrate water and sun rays can reach the aquatic plants for photosynthesis, can penetrate water and reach the aquatic plants. किसके लिए? For photosynthesis. Then in water are dissolved O2 and CO2, though in small quantity. Okay, so in water are dissolved O2 and CO2, therefore or hence water is source of O2 and CO2 for respiration and photosynthesis to the plants. Is it made clear? And last but not least, life originates in water. Life originates in water. So for origin of life, every life originates in water. Life originates in water. Hence water is called जीवन, है ना. विदाउट वाटर वी कैन नॉट सर्वाइव. आप समुंदर किनारे जाओ और आपकी पानी की बोतल खाली हो, आपको जब पानी नहीं मिलता पीने के लिए तो कैसा लगता है. हाँ, अभी इतना सुनामी आया, ये क्लाउड बर्स्ट हो गए, है ना, चिपळूण वगैरह आपने देखा कैसा पानी बहुत है, पानी बहुत है. लेकिन आई हैव जस्ट वॉच वन इंटरव्यू, उसमें बोला हम 3 दिन से पानी नहीं पिए, हम पानी के लिए तड़प रहे. सो दिस इज यू कैन नॉट सर्वाइव विदाउट वाटर. ये वाटर एवरीवेयर, नॉट ए ड्रॉप टू ड्रिंक. जब कंडीशन आती है देन वी रियलाइज हाउ वाटर इज इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर द सर्वाइवल. इज इट मेड क्लियर? एंड नाउ विल स्टार्ट डिफ्यूजन. So first physical process, that is diffusion. Diffusion is flow of particles, may be solid, liquid and gases. Okay, it is a flow of particles. जैसे कि देखो आपके घर में जब आप अगरबत्ती जलाते हैं तो उसकी खुशबू कहाँ तक आती है? बाहर तक आती है. सो दैट इज देयर इज फ्लो ऑफ गैसियस पार्टिकल्स. जब घर में छोले भटूरे बन रहे हो तो उसकी खुशबू भी बाहर तक आती है. जब टीचर डस्टर को साफ करने के लिए बोर्ड पे ऊपर ऐसा करता है टक 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 टक, तो पूरा चॉक पार्टिकल्स मूव, है ना. दैट इज डिफ्यूजन. ओके, सो हाउ डू यू डिफाइन डिफ्यूजन? डिफ्यूजन इज, इट इज रैंडम movement of, it is random movement of particles. What is the meaning of random? No direction. हाँ, आप ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते आपकी माँ कि मेरा लड़का आ रहा है, मेरी लड़की आ रही है, तो ये जो पाव भाजी की खुशबू है वो उसी के डायरेक्शन में जाओ. वहाँ से रास्ते से कोई जा रहा है तो उसको भी उसकी खुशबू आती है, क्योंकि ये रैंडम है. it has no direction. So it's a random movement of particles from the area of higher diffusion pressure higher diffusion pressure कहाँ पे होगा? That is from the area of higher concentration, जहाँ कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ज़्यादा होता है वहाँ पे डिफ्यूजन प्रेशर ज़्यादा होता है. ठीक है. सो फ्रॉम द एरिया ऑफ हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन टू द lower diffusion pressure in bracket we will write dp. dp stands for diffusion pressure. To the area of lower concentration. Till the equilibrium is established. How? Due to the kinetic energy, possessed by diffusing particles. So we do not provide any energy to the diffusing particle. They have their own kinetic energy. It's a random movement of particles from a higher diffusion pressure to the lower diffusion pressure till equilibrium is established. And how? Due to the kinetic energy possessed by diffusing particles. Is it made clear? So this is the definition of diffusion. Okay. Now see, I will give you one example. See, these are two areas, A and B. In area A, these molecules, concentration of, you can say, Y is more as compared to B. Okay, concentration, we will consider this color as Y. So concentration of Y in area A is more than in B. That means in area A, diffusion pressure is more than the diffusion pressure in B. Have you got it? So it is actually diffusion pressure is exerted because of concentration. Diffusion pressure is the result of concentration of the substances. Is it made clear? So naturally the flow of particles will be from A to B. It will be from A to B. How long it will continue? Till, suppose if these are 1000 particles, 1000 Y particles. Okay, so the process will continue till in both the areas,
becomes 500.
yes, 500, number becomes 500 equal, and once the equilibrium is reached, there will be no diffusion. Is it made clear? And these particles, they have their own kinetic energy. Now suppose in area A are present Y particles. So these are the, sorry, Y nahi, X. Now we will take X particles. So these are the X particles. So these are the particles. Green color is for X particle. And in area B are also present X particles. Now the diffusion pressure of X in area B is more than A, right? So the direction of diffusion,
Yes, from B to
yes, for X will be from B to A. It will be from B to A. Is it made clear? So when in an area are present more than one kind of diffusing particles, their direction of diffusion is independent of each other. Okay, suppose in area are present different types of particles, so they all will not diffuse in one direction. Their direction will be controlled by diffusion pressure. जिसका diffusion pressure ज़्यादा है वो direction से वो low diffusion pressure की ओर जाएगा. It is not necessary कि जैसा कि it is not necessary. Suppose here Y is 1000, okay, and X is 500. Okay, here X is 50, Y is 250. Now in this case, the direction of diffusion of both X and Y will be the same. Both will diffuse in this direction, because diffusion pressure of both X and Y is more in area A than in B. ना पीयूष नको त्याने सांगून राहू. So A and B, okay, so in both X and Y they have high diffusion pressure in area A, and therefore their direction will be the same. So the direction of diffusion depends upon their diffusion pressure, and then there must exist diffusion pressure gradient. Have you got it? What is the diffusion pressure gradient? It is the difference of diffusion pressure in two areas. So for diffusion, what is the condition? Diffusion pressure, मैं पूरा इरेज कर देती. For diffusion to occur, there must exist diffusion pressure gradient, that is the difference in diffusion pressure in two areas. So if there does not exist diffusion pressure gradient, then there will be no diffusion. There must exist diffusion pressure gradient. Is it made clear? And now we will study different types of diffusion. Okay, so types of diffusion. Types of diffusion. There are two types of diffusion. One is simple diffusion. and second is facilitated diffusion. There are two types of diffusion, one is simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. Okay, simple diffusion occurs, it is for short distances, like for example this is the leaf. So exchange of gases through this stomata. Exchange of gases through the stomata. For example, CO2 from outside to inside, okay, and oxygen which is produced in photosynthesis from inside to outside. This process is simple diffusion. It does not require any facility. Facilitated का मतलब कुछ facility provide करना. Okay, so simple diffusion is for short distances and does not require any facility and does not require any facility. Okay. So I had given you example of simple diffusion, exchange of gases between the leaf and surrounding, O2 and CO2. Okay, ये जो exchange चलती है between leaf and surrounding, it is by simple diffusion. It does not require any special facility. That is called simple diffusion. And tomorrow we will discuss facilitated diffusion, active and passive type. It is of two types, facilitated diffusion, active and. So tomorrow we will discuss facilitated diffusion, which requires facility that is provided in form of carriers. So carriers provide facility for the transport of hydrophilic substances. Hydrophilic substances and substances which have affinity for water cannot pass easily across the plasma membrane. You know, plasma membrane is made up of lipids and lipoproteins, so lipids and proteins. Okay, so lipophilic substances, they can easily pass through the plasma membrane, but hydrophilic substances cannot pass easily through plasma membrane, so they need some facility, and that facility is provided in form of carriers. So it's a little bit difficult concept. Tomorrow I will make this concept clear, okay, and then we will proceed further.